the Seattle Seahawks now. Russell Wilson drama. It is going to be a very, very long offseason for the Seahawks, for Russell Wilson and the fans. Now, Wilson's comments about the offensive line and his desire to be involved have kind of helped kickstart some trade rumors out there. I want to make it very clear again. Seattle is not going to trade Russell Wilson. And frankly, the only way Russell Wilson gets traded right now, or even next year, is if Russell Wilson says, I want out. That is the only way it happens, because Russell Wilson has a no-trade clause. He wants to win games. I think Wilson going public with all this stuff and airing at least some of the laundry out, is the phrase I'll use, is to help him get the things he thinks are needed to have success for Seattle. Clearly, there is friction between Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. It is not a perfect 100% everything's going well relationship. There are some issues there. I think that should be very clear right now. Despite the Seahawks not going to trade him stance for me, there are some odds out there, betting odds, on Wilson's next team. The Raiders plus 300. Okay. The Cowboys plus 600. Only makes them this like a 2-year or a next year deal. Like, the Seahawks, because of the contract involved, cannot afford to trade Russell Wilson right now. And they certainly can't afford to hypothetically bring in a Dak Prescott back, because that's way too much money. Jacksonville plus 700. Number one for Russ? Weird, okay. Washington plus 800. The Niners, zero chance, plus 900. In the end, there's not going to be a Russell Wilson trade. At least not right now. At least not this offseason. The Seahawks are in win-now mode. And win-now mode teams do not eat a bunch of extra money and then not have a quarterback. If the Seahawks were to trade Wilson right now, they would incur an extra $7 million on top of his already $32 million cap hit for 2021. I'll let you guys in on a secret. For a team with no first-round picks, it's going to be very difficult to find a win-now quarterback when you're paying somebody else on your roster $39 million at the same spot. Now, if Seattle wanted to enter a rebuilding phase, which maybe they do down the road, that's a whole different conversation. But this year, right now, no. That doesn't make sense for Russ. That doesn't make sense for Seattle. I know it's awkward and frustrating to see Wilson, and for at least some of you guys, out there talking publicly about what he wants. Trade's not going to happen right now. But you guys can disagree if you want. This is a show for the people, by the people after all. Will Seattle trade Russell Wilson this year? Simple 1 for yes or 0 for no. What's going to happen to Russell Wilson this offseason? 1 for yes, he'll be traded. 0 for no, he won't. Now, look, clearly that Russell Wilson-Seahawks relationship, not great. But if you guys want to help out your relationship, head over to chatsports.com/flowers. 15% off flowers and gifts. And not just the flowers there, like I said, it's the gifts as well. So that way, you're not just showing up with flowers. Like, that's the bare minimum that you could do. All right? You can get some sweets as well. And if you're like me, you have a sweet tooth. And if you buy something along those lines for your wife or your girlfriend, fiance, significant other, whatever, you'll end up getting some as well. So head over to chatsports.com/flowers. I'll make sure that link gets put in the comments and in the description. That way you don't end up in the doghouse this season. Chatsports.com/flowers. Do not delay, guys. It is almost Valentine's Day. Like, you are running out of time if you haven't done or planned anything for this Valentine's Day. Chatsports.com/flowers. Go check it out today. I will make sure that link is put in the comments and in the description. I want to go back to more now on this Russell Wilson conversation. At the end of the day, this is from Brandon Marshall talking about Russell Wilson and why Marshall says Wilson wants out. There's a lot to get in here, right? At the end of the day, you need to decide if you believe in Russ to drop back and throw it 30 to 40 times, and I don't think they believe in Russ. Well, actually, I know they don't believe in Russ because I was there. Now, Marshall did spend some time with Wilson in Seattle, and at that time, that offense was very run-heavy, something we know Russ does not like. He was a big proponent of the Let Russ Cook campaign. But there are some problems here with Marshall's, I'm going to go with opinion as opposed to treating it as like a sourced fact, right? Namely, first off, Marshall said the team did have taken one offensive lineman in the draft. Categorically false. But the Seahawks literally just let Russell Wilson throw it 30 to 40 times in a game. Now, I do think there is some disconnect there about what Wilson and Pete Carroll want to do. I think Pete Carroll does want to run the football a little bit more. I don't think Wilson does. But you know how I know the Seahawks believe in Russ? Because they made him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Like, that is not something you would do if you weren't going to listen to your franchise quarterback when he says, hey, I want to have more success throwing the football. They're paying him a lot of money over the next 3 years. And if Pete Carroll is like, I want to run the football, then yeah, you shouldn't be paying your quarterback all that much because you're not going to win games anyway. So will Russell Wilson be a Seahawk for life? Y for yes, N for no. He'll be a Seahawk for this next season. After that, I honestly don't know. Get your votes in, Y or N. Let's talk Jamal Adams now. And there was kind of buried in ESPN's Power Rankings article, Brady Henderson says, hey, the Seahawks traded for Adams last year, figuring if they didn't get a deal done, they could trade him again. Well, that's something you should probably not bury like that. Adams is in the last year of his contract, and the Seahawks are tight on cap space and very light on draft capital. I am of the mindset you should probably just pay Jamal Adams because he had a really good year for you. I know he's a safety, and I know people want to call him Blitz Boy or whatever. I'll take 9.5 sacks. Seriously, that's good. That's like, why is that a bad thing for a player to have 83 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, and 9.5 sacks? I'm not saying that Adams was an elite coverage guy. He wasn't, and he had issues there, and I get that. But he was impactful. He was a big reason why that defense was much, much better down the stretch. So if I'm Seattle, I'm in extend mode. I want to pay him right now, and I can bring down his cap hit. I can save some money, have him locked up, and have a great player, right? Now, the question mark, and this is where it could get a bit dicey, just how much does Jamal Adams want? If he's willing to take a $15 million per year deal, I do it right now. Because it's going to get more expensive as more players sign. If he wants something like Jalen Ramsey money, oh, now we're in a very tricky conversation, right? So what should Seattle do with Jamal Adams? I am of the mindset, extend the man. But get your votes in. E for extend Jamal Adams, or type in T for trade. I did want to talk some draft stuff for Seattle now. How about taking Alex Leatherwood, the offensive lineman from Alabama? He was mocked to the Seahawks in round 2 in the latest 3-round mock draft by NFL.com. He's played both tackle and guard for Alabama. There's some disagreement amongst the NFL and scouting community in terms of where he's going to be best out of the NFL. But if he's there at the back end of round 2 for Seattle, that's a really good pick. Because he's probably not going to play left tackle for you year 1 because Dwayne Brown is there. But you know what? I could plug him in at left guard. If I wanted to go kick him over to right tackle, I could do that as well. But he helps you on the offensive line, and that's exactly what Russell Wilson wants. He wants offensive line help. Getting Leatherwood in round 2, who I am rather unconvinced is actually going to fall that far, would be a very nice move by the Seattle Seahawks. If they can get him, I think that would be like almost a dream pick for Seattle without a first-round selection.